He grew up broke, watched his father lose everything, and built Starbucks into a global empire. Before Starbucks was on every corner, before the green logo became a global symbol, Howard Schultz was just a kid growing up in the poorest housing projects of Brooklyn, New York, watching his family struggle to survive. This is the story of how poverty, fear, and a burning ambition created one of the most iconic brands in the world. Howard Schultz was born in 1953 and raised in the Canarsie housing projects. His father worked a series of low-paying jobs: a delivery driver, a cab driver, a factory worker with no health insurance or job security. Then, the day came that changed everything. Howard's father broke his ankle on the job. With no insurance, no paycheck, and no safety net, Howard watched his family fall apart financially. That moment burned itself into his memory. He promised himself that one day he would build a company that treated its workers with dignity and respect. But growing up poor meant facing constant pressure. Howard felt ashamed, trapped. Success felt like something reserved for other people, not for him. His escape came through sports. He earned a football scholarship and became the first person in his family to ever attend college. At Northern Michigan University, his world opened up. For the first time, he saw a life beyond poverty, a world of opportunity. After graduating, Howard started a career in sales, but something felt missing. He wanted more than just a paycheck. He wanted a purpose. In the early 1980s, that search led him to a small Seattle company called Starbucks. Back then, Starbucks was just a local shop selling coffee beans and brewing equipment. It was a business trip to Italy, however, that would change his life forever. In Milan, he saw coffee bars everywhere. They were vibrant places where people gathered, talked, and connected. Coffee wasn't just a drink. It was an experience, a community ritual. Howard came back to Seattle, completely obsessed. He pitched a new vision to the Starbucks founders. Let's transform our stores into Italian-style cafes, a place for community. They said no. They wanted to stick to selling beans. So, Howard did the unthinkable. He quit Starbucks. With almost no money and facing enormous risk, he decided to start his own coffee shop, which he called Il Giornale. He scraped and clawed for funding, begging investors for a chance. Many rejected him, but he finally raised enough to open his first cafe, and it worked. The community he envisioned started to form. 2 years later, in a stunning turn of events, Howard bought Starbucks from its original founders and merged it with his vision. Starbucks, as we know it, was born. Howard didn't just build a coffee company. He built a culture. He remembered his father. Starbucks became one of the first companies to offer comprehensive health insurance, even to part-time workers. He gave his baristas stock options, making them partners in the company's success, created a sense of belonging. Store by store, city by city, Starbucks expanded. People weren't just buying coffee. They were buying a third place, not home, not work, but somewhere comfortable in between. By the 2000s, Starbucks was a global phenomenon. But success brought its own problems. In 2008, the company had grown too fast, and quality was suffering. The brand was losing its soul. So Howard, who had stepped down, returned as CEO. He made a bold move, shutting down thousands of stores for retraining and refocusing the entire company on quality. Most people thought he was crazy, that it was the end. But he was right. It worked. Today, Starbucks operates in over 80 countries, with tens of thousands of stores worldwide. Howard Schultz became a billionaire, but his real success wasn't the money. It was building the kind of company he wished his father had worked for. Howard Schultz once said, "In times of adversity and change, we really discover who we are and what we're made of." So if you come from nothing, if your past still haunts you, or if you're trying to build something bigger than yourself, remember this story. Starbucks didn't start with a love for coffee. It started with pain and a promise to a father that it would never happen again. Thanks for watching.